Hey, this is Politics with Laura. Now, what is going on over there in the UK? Now, what is interesting between the fighting between Ukraine and Russia, it has huge rippling effects and they're starting to be felt in Western Europe. Now, whether it doesn't matter how any of us feel about how the war started, whether if the Ukraine siding with the NATO and not adhering to the Warsaw Pact, or whether if NATO should even still exist, because since Russia is now Russia and the Soviet Union has collapsed back in 1991, whether if it's still NATO still should exist or not. That is not even the case at this moment. That could be debated, argued, or whatever later. However, right now, let's look at what's going on in the UK, because Boris Johnson, he is having the fight of his life between the gas prices going up 85%, people having to heat their homes. And what is he going to do? Well, let me check this out. I like looking at newspapers outside of the United States because I want to make sure that there's no funny business with the reporting. Okay. Alrighty. This is one out of Jamaica. The UK's windfall tax on oil and gas firms touts for help energy bills. This is going to be really interesting. It was Boris Johnson. Okay. Let me see. Okay. London, Associated Press. British Conservative government unveils a £15 billion or $19 billion. Wow, the dollar's really down. Okay. Emergency aid package Thursday has eased a severe cost of living squeeze, announcing the plan to pay. Oh, hold on for a second. I have to wait until this emergency stuff goes by. Okay. Now, all that is gone. Okay. To ease the severe cost of living squeeze, announcing the plan a day after Prime Minister Boris Johnson vowed to move on from the months-long scandal over government parties during the COVID-19 lockdown. Y'all are terrible. Everybody else has to go stay in their house, quarantine, put tape up, this, that, and the other, and you're running around with your soirees or whatever it's called. Terrible. All right, let me make sure I pull this down. The Treasury Chief Rishi Sunak said the government would introduce a 25% temporary windfall tax on the profits of oil and gas firms. The tax is expected to raise about £5 billion or 6.3 million or billion over the next year to help cash fund payments to help millions of people cope with the sharply rising energy bills, Sunak said. UK inflation hit 9%. I think it's much more. You know, they try to lower the numbers of inflation. In April, the highest level in 40 years, and millions of customers saw their annual energy bill jump from 54% the same month, announcing to an extra 700 pounds or $863 a year on the average for each household. Ouch. Because I know my energy went up. Ooh. Sun. Sure. Okay. Sunken said the government help would target the most vulnerable, including the disabled people and the retirees. Some 8 million of the country's lowest income household will receive a one-time government payment of £650 or $818. That is, you got to do more. Look, people pay their taxes. They pay you. Spend less time giving these big companies, and they are the big welfare recipients. Give them less subsidies and ease the people that pay taxes, because you know these big governments, these big time companies, they don't pay taxes. They avoid them. Tax them. Sorry about that. Okay, let me make sure I move this up. I am sorry. Every household will also receive £400 or $503 discount on domestic energy bills in October. The windfall tax announcement was a U-turn from Johnson's conservative government, which had previously said that imposing one would deter investment in the UK's energy sector. But the government is under heavy pressure to act, as skyrocketing energy and food bills cause financial hardship for British households. Yeah, you do one or the look. You got to help the people. Now, if you want inflation to rise, you do one or two things. Let the inflation rise so high to where it burns itself up and then prices come down. Or you keep on printing, as they're doing in the United States, continuously printing and printing and printing until everything falls apart, and then you're going to be in something worse than the Depression back in the 20s, 1930s. Or at least allow people to start making their own gardens. Something. In my humble opinion. Okay. The windfall tax announcement was a U-turn from Johnson's conservative government, which had previously said that imposing one... Okay, I already read that. But the government is under heavy pressure to act, as Scott already read that. Sunak, said the temporary levy would remain in place until prices return to normal levels, and would be accompanied by an investment allowance to motivate companies to invest in oil and gas extractions in the UK. I just don't see companies actually doing that unless if the people force the companies by withholding whatever or stop doing business. Annie.
Yes.
I'm taping. I'm taping.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, so something is it has to be one or the other. Something's going to have to give. Now, no matter what you do, it's going to be bad. Now, it's going to determine, do you go bad or do you go to worse? You got to determine that. And no matter what it is, people are going to feel the pain. Now, you're going to have to hold in government. I really wish you would hold companies and especially these banks accountable for their actions. If you do not hold them accountable, then they will continuously to behave in this reckless manner to where everyone suffers and they do not pay consequences for their behaviors, tanking entire countries. Is there a law on the books for something like that? There has to be a law. Open up that book, blow off the dust, and start going after these dirtbags. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. That's all I offer. So what do you think? Should England have, or the UK, have these businesses to have an incentive to start helping out, doing their fair share? Or should they give these government paychecks to the people to help them alleviate, which is not enough? It went up like what was it, £703? And then you want to give a check for £800? It's not enough, because the next month and the next month and the next month. Just a thought. Just a thought. So based on that, please like, subscribe. If not, dislike, but still subscribe. And if you think I'm far-fetched, I'm just talking out the side of my neck, or I'm just saying any old kind of thing, please put something down in the comment box. We can go ahead and straight talk it out. And if you agree with me, still put something in the comment box. I would love to hear from you. Politics with Laura, and I want to most definitely thank you for stopping by.